following, Catalyst Traders, is for educational purposes only. You must consult a financial advisor before deploying real assets of any kind. Everything discussed or mentioned here are just my thoughts and ideas. After you consult a financial advisor, you must trade your plan within your means. Everyone, I hope traders and investors alike were green on Friday. In this video, we're going to go over our weekly update. So coming into this week, we do have some earnings for this week. So we got a lot of software names and some of the security names as well. Cybersecurity, Crowd, Snow, CRM, Zscaler, Marvel, Workday, Alta, Inuit is in there, Okada's in there, PDD, Path, SPLK, Dell, Dollar Tree, HPE's in there. So that looks like about all the names that we would be interested in, but we'll definitely be staying late to trade those names and to call the earnings plays out as well. As for data, a lot of the normal stuff coming in. We do have a few Fed speakers this week, and the auction data will be on our radar. So we do have auction data on Monday, again on Tuesday, and then again on Thursday. We'll definitely be watching that. And of course, we'll have our Fed speakers and everything on the radar every day as we come into those days. So let's just get right into the charts here. Our put to call ratio is still working on setting up a new trend here. You can see it starting to trend out. If we want to go back and look at this area, you can see how we trended out, then come right back into it before moving out. So we definitely still got some time in that before we can get it back down here into the bullish zone where we want it. Everything just seems to work better with the options when we're down there in the bullish zone. The oscillators for the NASDAQ, positive 246, getting a little heated there, and 185 in the New York Stock Exchange. We still got plenty of room to move in either direction. The SPX weekly, nice push here last week, good close. I would love to see this thing come back in. We're going to look at some more charts here. Breath is trying to push higher. Finally, hopefully we can work this divergence out. Would love to see a pullback here. You can see the histogram, the 5 is cooling off some compared to what it was earlier in this move. This is SPX equal weight. We talked about this last week in this little inverted head and shoulders type move here, moving up. So last week we were able to clear this 200 and start pushing higher, which is a good sign for overall market health. We're seeing a lot of the same pattern on a lot of charts, which is good for the market because we need some of the other names to help pitch in here. So if tech does pull back, it'll hold the market up decent. US dollar looking for a close below. We had this little H-cell pattern last week that got to move down, looking like another little H-cell pattern type move. We're just looking for a close below for a further downside there. Like I always say, we're not looking for the dollar to crash, but seeing the dollar take, dollar pulling back is taking pressure off of the market. VIX getting extremely beat down. Closed at 1246 on Friday. Would like to see this push back up, reconnect with a 9 for a bear flag type move to move lower. You can definitely see the drowning goose setting up there in the moving averages. Crude is weak. Still looking for a move back down here to test this range low. See if we can get a prices memory type trade. We got to clear that range low to go lower. Can keep energy names on the radar. Apple, beautiful flag here, flagging back into our 9. Really nice setup. You can see the money coming in on the CFM. Good money coming into Apple. Really nice MACD here as well. We want to see this MACD open up. We can definitely go higher here. The bands have flattened out, and the bands is on the top side. On the bottom, we are moving higher here. As for the band itself is trying to move higher. Would like to see another setup here. So what we could easily do here is lose this 9, come in, form the goose head, and look for a move higher. We're going to look at the moving averages on some of these charts. Plan A, Plan B. We know the market should pull back. Does it have to? No. And we're going to look at a few things here as we go through the day. Apple 15-minute. You can see the move down on Friday. Try to recover there at the end of the day. You can see the little W pattern right there at the end of the day with some recovery there. Then traded flat. Gold has been pushing higher. This 9 is coming up. Gold names, we're bullish on gold names above this range high. We might be able to get a trade up to that range high. Friday's candle did close higher, so we may be able to see a move up. I'm only looking for a move up to this range high. After we clear that, then we're looking for a move higher. This chart tells us the percentage of stocks in the New York Stock Exchange and the S&P 500 that is above their 50 and the 200 day. So for the New York Stock Exchange, we have 53% above their 200 and 70.26% above the 50-day on in the New York Stock Exchange. So a 70% of the stocks are above their 50-day that is held within the New York Stock Exchange. And for the S&P 500, we have 57% and 76. So 57% above the 200, 76% above the 50-day. That's a good look. So we're seeing some improvement there into the markets. Advanced decline lines all turned up again on Friday. You can see small caps down here are lagging, but trying to improve. Still looking pretty bullish there. And of course, small caps will be on the radar today. Aflac close above here, trying to get above this value profile, see if we can go higher. This has been a nice chart. There's some of the other, like Allstate, have been moving very well as well, and we I've just been following this chart just to keep an eye on the industry for the insurance. So we have the insurance companies are within the banking sector, the financial sector, and the insurance companies are their own industry. AMD trading pretty flat on Friday on the 15-minute chart. You can see Amazon. This is a great looking chart. It's already this MACD's moving average is already pinched, wanting to go higher here. Looking for a close above, looking for a move higher. Does it need to pull back? Yes. Would love to see it pull back into that 20 and then push off that 20. Does it have to? No. RK, nice, like a H buy pattern here. We're looking for a candle to take out this level. We move up above this level. We're looking for a move higher there. ARM. So we added this chart last week. It's finally getting enough data on it. You can see this inverted head and shoulders here on the bottom. I had seen somebody call this pattern something for the IPO. Apparently, I mean, it's clearly an inverted head and shoulders, but apparently they have a name for an IPO reversal or something like that. And that's what they called it. That whole setup looks like a big rounded bottom. This is actually a inverted head and shoulders, and that's how I would have traded it. Just saying. We're looking for a move up to the range high here. Does it need to pull back in? Sure. Does it have to? No. Would love to see it pull back in into the daily 9, but this is extended outside of your BBs. So your BBs right now are a support level, and I do realize that most people, when you hear me call the BBs as a support level, people don't really realize what I'm saying because it's kind of something that I do when it comes to trading. But you can use your Bollinger Bands as support/resistance levels to take trades off from. Short-term quick trades. Got Avgo, nice close last week on the weekly. So we do need to close up above. Obviously higher closing candles. We're still outside of the BB here. Once again, does this need to pull back in? This is a weekly time frame. Does this need to pull back into the 9? Yes. Would it make trading a lot easier? Pull back in and give us the setup? Of course. Does it have to do that? No. All right, we're going to start looking at a few moving averages here and a couple charts. Avgo weekly, nice flag. Candle takeout. So we're looking for a candle to close up above. It's going to flag break, turned into an H buy pattern. Then we got to confirm an H buy pattern. Definitely keep Avgo on the radar this week. AMD, another nice setup here. Higher closes. The 9 looks great there. So we're looking at this right here. So it looks like this needs to pull back. So if we go out right here, we're going to bump out one more month. Instead of 6, we're going to go out 7, update that. You can see right here how long of a move this was. And we kept continuing to push, continuing to push, continuing to push. So looking at that move right there, this move looks like it's just getting started. So if everybody thinks that we have to pull back, I'm sorry, but we do not. Moving averages or the Bollinger Bands are changing character here. So when we're trading the 1-minute chart like we always do, when we see those Bollinger Bands change character like that, we know that good chance that the setup that is provided to us right now probably won't be working. And, so I think it's a good chance that, we could see a small pullback here. But as you can see, we do not have to. And at the top of here, when we did try to do the goose head thing, it ended up rolling over and pulling back. So definitely watching these moving averages, and there's a few more charts we're going to look at. You can definitely see the money coming back in IWM off that CFM money flow. AMD weekly, another good close up there on the weekly chart. Your weekly BBs are resistance. So Amazon 15-minute chart, you can see the big pull at open on Friday and then recovered that. That provided some good opportunities there. I did see some of our members were able to grab some opportunities in Amazon on Friday. So Amazon weekly, good close. Apple weekly, once again, very nice close up here. Uh, Except, it is a high close candle, but it's very close to a graystone. Just saying that we could possibly pull back in to retest some moving averages, and that would be great. That's exactly what we would prefer to see. Boeing on the daily, this chart once again looks good. You can see this inverted head and shoulders we were breaking up out of. I've had some news coming on this one. Chart is working nicely. Nice move up here. Does it need to pull back? Sure, it does. Let's go look, see if we can get the same look out here on 7 months. No. Some of the charts, mostly tech. I'm going to look at a few more here in a minute. Bitcoin grinding higher, still holding it very well. Boeing 15-minute chart trading. This was a great trade last week. We talked about getting out of that box. If we got out of that box, we were bullish, and we got out of that box and been trending higher. The last couple of days has been kind of a dog. Not been getting a whole lot of real movement there. TNX trying to move lower here. MACD changing character. Need to keep an eye on this. We did push back up and close back above that 9. MACD definitely changing character. Could see a bear flag type setup there. A CCJ, this one's been going higher. Good look. We need a close above this highest candle, which is this candle right here. We get a candle close above that. We're looking for a move higher to start that stair step higher. Just want to point out the volume profile steady getting lighter up there. CCL, this is another trade that I've been watching. I was able to get a trade off of this last week. I ended up taking, I think it was 23%. I basically bought this candle right here off the 9 for a push back up and then closed it on this gap up here the next morning. It's not something that I do a lot. Took 10 contracts. I just want to, and the biggest reason why I took this trade because it's just something that I've been watching and been recommending here and there for some trades. So I wanted to take a few of them myself. All right, so once again, you can see the moving averages right here. Or you can see your 920, your goose head set up, and how it lost it right there. We're just getting started with this one once again, so we can make a big move up there as well if the market wants to. And that's a nice flag. CENX, this is aluminum play, flagging. We're looking for a close above our bull flag for a move into that 200. We got to clear the 200 to ultimately go higher. If we clear the 200, we're looking for a move up into that range high. Coin, nice cup breakout. Not spending any time to put a handle in. Let's go to the next chart. So this is a complex inverted head and shoulders pattern. A lot of people would argue with you about this. It has a shoulder and it has a shoulder, but it has a double head, and that's what makes it a complex head and shoulders. Either way, chart is still bullish. We got a good close last week. Coin could have a lot more upside. By looking at this chart, if I was to set a target on this chart, and I am not setting a target on this chart, I'm just saying my first target would be, if I was trading off of this chart, would be up here in the, I would watch 157 on the way up, and then watch this 190-ish area right here. So you got to clear 157 to get up into the 190, but it definitely looks like it wants to go higher. I'm not saying that's where it's going. Please don't misunderstand me. Just saying, if I was looking at that chart, that would be my first target. That is a nice looking chart there. Cost, nice bull flag break. We talked about this last week. We talked about it in Discord quite a bit, but cost is one of the players that is a seasonal play. A lot of people have to eat, for these holidays, and a lot of that food comes from cost or Costco. So still bullish on Costco's. Our target right now is this range high. We got to clear that range high to go higher. These moving averages look great. Once again, looks like we're just getting started. Look at that big move up there, right there, on where we had the goose head coming back in, opening back up. And there's a particular patterns that we look for within the moving averages. This is part of our technical analysis. It's a little different than what most people do. It's very helpful. So XLC, nice move up here. Communication sector has been hot, and this is due to Google and Facebook are part of the communication sector. Been a really nice move up there. In the consumer staple sector, moving higher, looking for like an H-buy pattern type cup action right here. This candle that did get outside of the BBs and we got back down, I like it better above that. Now, if you were to play this before that, just look for that area for resistance. Definitely looks like it wants to go higher. And once again, Costco's is a big player in the consumer staples.
All right, DFS, this is Discovery Financial Services, still playing under this gap. We'll probably be taking this one off the chart. This is or off, out of the video list. Still plenty of gaps up above us. I just think there's better places for your money right now. Disney higher closes here. This is the weekly time frame outside of the BBs, exactly where I want to be. Those bands are open up in both directions, but a weekly close above your 50 day, Disney looks good there. Disney on a daily, you can see the flag break on Friday going higher. Moving averages trying to catch up. Does it need to pull back? Sure. Does it have to? Absolutely not. DraftKings, nice flag here. You can see the goose head forming, wanting to go higher. Nice flag, waiting for that 9 to push up and move higher. DULO, this is another very nice chart. This was a recommendation for me to cover. Very nice chart. You can see that we do have this big gap up here, but Friday we got the close above, so that should be starting our stair step higher. We want to see this 9 turning up tomorrow, following price up as we're going higher, and of course see where we open up tomorrow. Lilly still trading in that little wedge there. ExxonMobil. So ExxonMobil has broken this downtrend. We did get a close back above this 9 and 20. I know crude is not the hot place to be right now with everything going on, and seems like crude's been cooling off. Definitely want to keep ExxonMobil here on the radar and the other energy names. This is a nice looking chart. We got a trend break here back above the 9 and 20. So we're looking for a move up to that 200. I like it better after we clear this area. Don't get a candle tomorrow if we don't remain. So if we open up and gap down tomorrow, no bullish trade there. Got to remain above those moving averages. Google flagging back into the 9 there. Google intraday, you can see the big move down on Friday and then some recovery there at the end of the day. HRB, this is H&R Block. This chart is moving higher. Nice looking chart here. I do not know the options liquidity on this one, so please make sure it has options liquidity before you try to trade it. This is another recommendation. A great looking chart here. Nice pin bar there, signaling a move higher. Come back down, flagged in, broke the flag going higher. Another very nice looking chart. Intel. So Intel trading higher, flagging up here. Want to see that 9 catching up. IWM trading sideways. Well, we had a nice move up Friday, and then it started to trade sideways for a while and finished this day out. Congratulations. One of our members, Julie, was able to get some very nice trades on this last week. As bad as the market's been, and she's coming in here killing this, and that's a great job. So just giving you a shout out. Keep up the good work. Life-changing stuff. Love seeing people's lives change. All right, QQQ here. You can see a nice push up. Now, once again, if we're going to go out one more month, we're going to go out 7. So taking a long look at these moving averages, you can see how we spread it and a nice move higher there. The one thing that I do see is the gap on the moving averages is a bigger gap here, which is a sign of strength. So actually we had looks like we're having a stronger move coming off the lows, but you can clearly see how long that those gaps, and then we can pinch for a goose head just to go higher. That goose head there we started to pull back on, so stop working there. But we can definitely go higher here. I would love to see something like this though for a pullback in and then to continue higher. That's exactly what we're looking for. QQQ intraday chart did pull back on Friday, held that 15-minute 200, was able to push higher. Q's on the weekly chart. So we do have a cup and handle breaking out here. My next level to worry about is this high up here. We want to clear that. So watch your range high over here, which your all-time high in the market area. Jets, you can still see some improvements here. Still playing with this support/resistance line that we highlighted here. So we've been above it, back below it. Right now it is resistance. The 9 is coming up. So that's Jets. Just keep an eye on the airlines because there could be some traveling. Most likely, there's going to be some traveling going into the holidays. People, going to see their families and stuff. And once again, that's why we have Jets on the radar, watching airlines. JP Morgan, this has been one fantastic move up here, still trying to flag, still wants to go higher. The last 3 days is giving us a sign saying, hey, there's something changing up here. We should be working on a pullback there. CF or the RSI is hot. This is exactly where we want the RSI, saying, hey, I can go higher. I know a lot of people like to go in there and automatically go short, but we can definitely go higher. McDonald's, nice move up. Nice flag break. We are right into this heavy volume profile bar here. So this is the area that we need to watch for McDonald's. We want to break out of this area. If we can get above that, we're looking for some continued upside. Meta, you know, I just want to say I'm not the investor type trader. I am strictly a trader, and I believe in making enough money in the markets on a daily basis to definitely make sure you have plenty of money for retirement. I just see everything differently. I have a total different mindset, and I think way out of the box. But let's be honest, a lot of the normal in the box type trading stuff is the reason why traders make it about 3 years before they quit. I don't think inside of that same box. I don't trade inside of that same box. So I do things quite a bit differently. But I really do think that Meta and Ray-Ban have a really good thing happening here with the glasses. They do seem really cool. Now I'm seeing commercials come out for it. I can honestly see people who don't wear glasses going and getting these just so they can have the tech. May not, you know, I just see that happening. So I am bullish on Meta long term. I'm not saying it's going to go up tomorrow. I'm not saying it's going to go up next year, but I am bullish on Meta for the long term. Meta, nice move down here. Microsoft, so we had this cup still pushing higher. So you can see the way this is trading, it doesn't have a lot of power to the upside. It does feel like that trying to push up, but feels like sellers are trying to hold it back up here. So we got blue skies putting in a nice volume profile bar up there. Still looking for, we could still see some further upside, but still looking for that to roll over and lay back down to the breakout area. It'll look more like a ladle when it does. Microsoft intraday. Microsoft, nice move up here on the weekly. Strong close last week. Outside of those weekly BBs, would like to come back down and at least test the BB, but I would love to get back into the BBs and look for a retest of some moving averages. We don't even have to come all the way back into the 9 on the weekly. We just like to come in and retest some stuff on the daily. All right, so we got NEM. So this is a gold miner. I would be really careful because if you look at the gold chart, and you look at these miners. Now, look at this chart. Go back and look at the gold chart. We're not going to do that because it's in the beginning of the video. Gold miners have not been participating with the gold plays. So normally I would be out here recommending trading gold miners when gold's hot, but they have not been hot this time. Gold miners have not really been doing it. You can clearly see we're trading in a downtrend here. This needs to be cleared. That 50 on your daily needs to be cleared. If we can clear that, I would only be looking for a move up into the second downtrend, the one that's above it, just below the 39 area. I can't say this enough. I think there's better places for your money because once again, this has been a laggard trade. Gold's been trying to put the work in much better than the gold miners. So I would be really careful with those. NVIDIA trying to come back in. This chart's doing exactly what we would like to see. Coming back in on the weekly time frame, we want to roll this 9 over, give us the goose head. It looks like it's going to go higher. Let that MACD cool off while it's doing it. Take a look at the daily. I'm sorry, this is intraday. NVIDIA, that was, wait a minute. That was the daily. So that's exactly what we want to see on the daily. Now let's go back to the weekly. Now the weekly, this is exactly what we want to see. We had a low closing candle last week. That should be signaling a move back down to some moving averages. Got the drowning goose setting up here on the weekly time frame. Looks like it could possibly cool back off some more. And on the daily, like I say, we want to roll this 9 down and see if we can turn it back up and then move higher with the goose head type pattern. So New York Stock Exchange weekly close, nice push there. This is the NASDAQ, looks really great. Once again, if we go back here and look at that run that we had coming off from, coming into May and into the year, look how bullish that was. Look at the gap in between versus this right here looks good. And you can definitely see we pulled back in and went higher. That's all we're looking for here, something to pull back into the 9 on the daily. And I believe people will be trying to come into the markets. Netflix, another one that's been raging higher. It's not had the greatest volume on it the last few days, but it's been raging higher. OOTO, this is a travel and vacation ETF that basically tracks your travel and vacation stocks. You can see this little inverted head and shoulders type move here, breaking out. We got to watch that 209s coming up nicely. Once again, these are your CCL type plays, Carnival Cruise Line, stuff like that. QQQ weekly. This is the QQQ monthly. Still watching this cup and handle. We still need a close up there. SPX daily, nice move higher, really nice move up here. We've got some gaps below us. We are looking to clear this level right here, drawing a line from the top of that candle body and watching this candle body right here, that little zone right there. Shop, nice push on shop here, back into previous resistance. This would be the perfect place to come back in and try to retest this 9 for a flag. This is a great looking chart, raging higher. Look at those moving averages, raging higher. SMH, nice close above up here. The diamond trying to go higher. Nice looking chart. Very nice looking chart. The diamond on the weekly, nice looking chart coming back into previous resistance. This level needs to be cleared. This would be a nice place to pull back into some moving averages. Would be great if that's what we did this week, but we do not have to. So, we try to stay open-minded and plan A, plan B with every setup that we get in the markets. So we got the SPY here, the SPY on the weekly time frame, nice close, watching the same area up here. Pushing into this candle, watch the top of that candle body. That candle was a nice rejection up there, so see if we can push into that. Once again, it would be a great place to pull back in and put in a higher low before going higher. Does not have to do that. Hopefully it does. It'll make the market a lot easier to trade. SPY on the monthly, you can see the little cup and handle action there as well. And this is SPY on the daily. Huge move up. You can see kind of goose heading here with the 9 and 5. We already did that once. We know that that's a short-term move. I would love to see this pull back in. But once again, you can go back here and look at the goose head and the separation and see how far that we ran. And we can do the same thing here. This market is primed. It can go. If it wants to, it can go much higher. SPY traded intraday on Friday. Very tough action there on Friday. Square, nice move up here. So starting to see Square we could pull back in this area. You can see kind of shoulders there. You can look at this as a head if this wants to pull back and put in a shoulder. So we could pull back into the 9 here, would be a great place to do it. If we do move up above this area, you can see there's a little volume profile pocket. Watch your 200-day up there. Tesla intraday, nice move on Friday. This thing was full of bullish flow, and then it did manage to pull back there at the end of the day. TTD still trading rough here in this wedge. We did try to break out and push right back into it. We did close back above that weekly 50 on Friday. It's a lagger. I'm sorry, guys. I know, like, people talk about the laggards. Go after the laggards. There's so much stuff running here. Why are you looking at laggards? I'm sorry. Sorry, but there's just so many good charts in this market to buy. There's no need to be looking for what has not run yet, because a lot of times laggards, there's a reason they haven't come for it. If you put in the work, you can trade anything instead of trying to buy something that, and hope that it goes up, or buy something because you think that it goes up. We try not to trade on what we think. We wait for real signals to be given in the market. So no trades without a real signal to be given in the market. Taiwan Semi flagging back in, back below that 9 there. XLK. So XLK holding this 9. You can see tech is just extremely bullish. So should we pull in? Yes, we should. And we see the same setup on the daily or on the 1 minute a lot when we're trading. This is that really need the patience. You can see the moving out, the Bollinger Bands have changed character. So this to me looks like it's a good chance we're going to get that little pullback this week. As good as this chart looks, it definitely looks like it wants to go higher. We get above that candle, then I am bullish. And when I say a pullback, I don't mean an all new low or anything like that. Just pulling back underneath that 9 so we can turn it down and then reclaim it so we can push back up. The same setups we talk about every day on the daily. XLK, strong close up there. Tesla, nice push here. Watch your 9 and 20. If we can clear that weekly 9 and 20, we're looking for it to move in a direction. Tesla daily still looks good. We tried to close back above that 9, but we got to get back above that 50. Draw a line from that candle body right on across that one, looking for a move up above that. If we get a candle close up there for confirmation, we're looking for a move higher. Uber, great looking chart. I mean, once again, nice push up here. Definitely trying to go higher. Got that higher closing candle. Keep a close eye on this MACD. RSI is hot, exactly where we want it. Can definitely go higher if it wants. I know a lot of people see that. They automatically want to go short. That's just telling you there's a ton of relative strength. It does not mean overbought. It's just telling you there's a ton of relative strength in the stock. Walmart trying to push back up here. We got this long-legged spinning top there, was not able to get a movement off from it. Higher close again on Friday. Can we get a bear flag move back up to that 9? That's all we're looking for. XLE back above the 9 and 20 there as well. This does look like it does want to change character and go up. See what energy does this week. Financial sector raging higher here. Once again, we would love to see it come back in. We do know that the insurance industry inside of the financial sector has been hot as well, which has been a help for the financial sector itself. XRT, this is the retail, so we do have this little cup here. If we can clear this area, you can see we tested it and pulled back. Would love to clear this. I can see a shoulder would be a big head and put in a small shoulder there, so we might pull back in to put in a higher low. TLT still playing with this little inverted head and shoulders type pattern down here, trying to break out. IWM will definitely be on the radar this week. All right, so you can see IWM's weekly. Weekly 9 is turning up. Got a nice close on Friday. We did close right at that 50. You got your 20 and your 200. So there's a lot of work there that needs to be done on the weekly. Let's take a look at the daily. So the daily, we do need to close over this 200. So nice move up here. If we can get above that 200, we're looking for a move higher. So please remember, discipline is the key to success in trading. We do things considerably different than what a lot of other traders trade, as in a lot of other traders are simply buying stuff, thinking that something's going to happen. We wait for real signals in the market. We let the real signals give us the information that we need to take the entries. We're not taking entries just because we think we're getting ready to turn here. We need to see a real signal. This keeps us from wasting our time. Very important. We don't want to be out here wasting our time just buying every green or every red candle or every single MACD cross or every single moving average cross. We're waiting to see real signals in the market. And unfortunately, a lot of the ways that I personally trade and a lot of stuff that I talk about is just not something that you're going to find in a textbook. Please understand that the stuff that we're talking about is just not stuff that you're just not going to find it in a textbook. What we talk about is what's working on a daily basis in the markets every day. So what we're talking about is what's working right now. A lot of people love to read. I am all about, and I actually recommend the books. But as I always say, don't overthink the book. A lot of times you guys see these setups and you're thinking that this is what's going to work just because it worked for the book. But what mood's the market in? What's your setup? What's going on around you? What's going on in your environment? Not every bullish engulfing candle is going to work, or not every MACD cross is going to work. There's a whole bunch of little details that we put together for a decision-making process. This is what's important. It's not chasing every candle and not even setting these targets. Once again, a lot of people like to set targets, but sometimes price takes the back road to go to that target, and there can be more opportunities trading within The back roads, instead of just getting in and holding into the target, you may be able to get 3 or 4 trades on the way to that target and make much more money in the long run. So staying active in your trading is important. Just buying something and holding it because you think it's going to go up is not a strategy. So I hope everybody has a great week. Hope you've had a great weekend. And of course, as always, I will see you in the trading room. Remember, discipline is the key to success in trading. Have a great weekend, everyone.